Takže ahoj, tu je Roman zo Scandinavian study, and we will conduct this in English because obviously my guest is not speaking much Slovakian, and my today's guest is host, or my friend is Michael Rogerson from Bangor University. Mike, thank you for doing this.
Oh, you're very welcome. How are you?
I'm perfect. Thank you very much. I'm in Bratislava. We are at work. We are trying to keep ourselves occupied.
Well, and me too. I'm in a small village called Munislandagaj, which is about 7 miles away from Bangor.
All right. And in your real life, not right now, in your real life, you're working as an international officer, I think so.
That's correct.
At Bangor University.
That's right, yeah.
And we're working as an agency with Bangor University for a few years now. And in those times when everything is closed, schools are shut, I would like to add a little bit more value, or even not value, but energy and motivation to our students to stick with the primal decision why they wanted to come to Bangor or to United Kingdom,
yeah,
or to abroad. So if we can start, Michael, just tell me, how is the situation in UK?
Well, like much of the rest of the world, everything is cloaked with a degree of uncertainty at the moment. But I think myself and my colleagues are feeling pretty optimistic at present. I think the university has acted really, really quickly in order to make sure that all our current students have had all their teaching moved online. So they're not losing anything in terms of their tuition. We've also made several arrangements for current applicants to make sure that they're not in any danger of losing their offer. So they can be completely secure in their offer. And we're still accepting new applications for what we hope will be a normal September start.
Excellent. What you mentioned before we started to talk, that we have still 5 months to go. So we are quite lucky.
Yeah, I think if this could happen at a good time at all, then this is probably not a bad time, because it's near the end of the current semester. So our students are minimally affected. And we've still got a long way until the beginning of the new year. So we've got a long time still to get over any remaining difficulties we have.
Any remaining? I think so. It's still quite few to solve, but I'm very positive also.
But we have time on our side at the moment from our point of view. We're lucky that the university year runs from September to September. So we've got 5 months. And I began to explain to you before you were recording that the university has 3 options in place for new starters in September, all of which are very optimistic, really, I think. So the first option is that we open as usual, if we're allowed to do that. The second option is that students might begin their courses online and then migrate to the campus once they're allowed to. And the third option is that we just delay by a short time the entire start of the term. So maybe until October, November, December or January. So, I mean, things will be going ahead. We're just not currently sure of the format.
Excellent. And this is actually a good advantage of all the UK universities in comparison, for example, with Slovakia or Denmark, that semester starts not in September, but in October. So we have...
Yeah, end of September, early October, yeah.
Perfect. For those students who don't know what is Bangor University or where are you located, you are in United Kingdom, but not in England. Not in England. You are in country which is called Wales.
That is correct, yeah. So Wales is one of the 4 countries that make up the United Kingdom. And of those, I would say it's one of the most beautiful as well. And particularly where Bangor is located in the northwest of Wales. It's right next to the mountains. It's right next to the sea. It's a small, safe city. With a student population of about 10 or 11,000, which means that 1 in every 3 people in the city is a student. So you have a really nice atmosphere in a really beautiful location. And it's not a crowded place either. You've got space. It's not an expensive place. In fact, last year there was a report in an online publication called Totally Money, which ranked Bangor as the #1 cheapest location to be a student in the whole of the UK. So that's really good as well. And having said that, we're in the middle of the countryside, we're not actually difficult to access either. We're only 2 hours from Manchester, 2 hours from Liverpool. So it's easy to fly into Manchester. In fact, on your first day, we pick you up and bring you to Bangor. So it's very friendly, lovely location, cheap, safe, and at the heart of it is an excellent university as well. So it's the best of all worlds.
We will go back to the university introduction, but I want to mention, or I would like you to speak a bit more about Snowdonia, which is National Park.
That's correct.
Of Wales, right?
Well, I'm fortunate enough to be in Snowdonia right now because we live just on the fringes of the mountains. I live in a village which is 900 feet, which is about 300 meters elevation. So from my back garden, I can see the mountains, and from my front garden, I can see the mountains and the sea. So Snowdonia is, I think I'm right in saying it's the original and first national park in the UK. It houses the highest mountain in England and Wales, which is Snowdon, or in Welsh, Yr Wyddfa. And it's an absolutely fantastic location full of awesome scenery, craggy mountains, mountain lakes, beautiful lush greenery. And from the tops of these mountains, you can see across to the sea, the Isle of Anglesey, and the rolling hills of mid-Wales.
I will add under this video to description video. I think so your university made one video about Snowdonia, about students and all the sports they can do there. And I would like to mention that Bangor is maybe option for those students or people who don't like big cities as London.
Absolutely, yeah, I would definitely agree. So if you're not really keen on the idea of a big, dirty, smelly city, then Bangor is absolutely perfect for you. And particularly if you're also keen on adventure sports, we've got the longest zip line and the fastest zip line in Europe. We've got underground trampolining, forest roller coasters, inland surfing in an artificial surf lagoon. We've got beaches, mountains, cliff tops, coastal walks. So it's absolutely perfect. If you like the fresh air, if you like exercise, if you like adventure sports and climbing and mountain biking, then it's definitely the place for you.
Actually, this is great. And one day I will go there to check if you are saying the truth.
Oh, you should. Would you like me to show you out of my window right now?
Yes, please.
So this is the garden of where I live, and
this is amazing.
It's only one small snapshot of North Wales, so it's an amazing place to live, an amazing place to work, and for a student, you're going to spend not 2 weeks holidaying here, but 3 years living here and taking full advantage of everything that's in the area. Obviously, with a little bit of study thrown in for good measure.
Slovakia is landlocked. We don't have sea, and I was very lucky to live next to the sea, maybe for 7 years of my life. And ocean and the sea is one of the elements we miss in here. So all the students.
Oh, there's nothing so relaxing as if you're getting a little bit stressed out with your work because university is hard. It's a big change from school level learning. From where you live in our halls of residence, in 10 minutes you can walk down to the sea, walk out onto Bangor Pier, go and have a cup of tea in the little hut on the end of the pier, and just look out at the sea and become calm again. So it's a really good place to kind of focus your attention and then focus your energies on becoming calm.
Okay, Mike. I'm convinced. Once the borders will open, I'm flying. I'll be the first one.
Excellent.
Let's move on a bit more to Bangor University itself. And would you say Bangor is more like modern university, or you have history dating back to 1800?
It's definitely a traditional university in the sense that it's one of the oldest in the UK. So it was established in 1884, which makes it 136 years old this year.
Right.
So it's one of the kind of traditional classification of red brick universities in the UK. So we've got all that history of academic excellence and research, and also serving the local community as it began. So now from 1884, where we started with a handful of students, there are over 10,000 students now studying in about 25, 26 distinct academic subject areas. We have about 200 undergraduate degree programs, about 200 postgraduate degree programs. We're in the top 50 in the UK, top 500 in the world, top 40 in the UK for research. And I think one of only 36 universities in the UK, which includes some very big names indeed, who have both excellence in teaching and research. So gold standard teaching and excellence in research.
This is good to mention that you have rankings of your universities, and in UK, and this award is by Ministry of Education, I think. So it is called
the teaching standards, teaching excellence framework, for which we received a gold standard, which is the highest.
And you have 3 categories, which is bronze, silver, and gold. And as you said, only few universities achieved it, which means
yes, of course, yeah.
But I would expect that if you were founded in 1884, I think so you manage all the processes, so you definitely have to have golden medal.
Yeah, we've got a lot of experience in teaching, and there are certain research-led universities who concentrate on research. We're a kind of happy hybrid between a research university and a teaching university, because our focus is on teaching our students. And that's a massively important part of what we do at Bangor and what makes Bangor very special. The amount of student support that we give to students in any situation, both academically, with English language, with counselling support, money advice, anything you need, there are a lot of people to go to find help.
Mike, recently there are some new trends in societies. Not so new, but ecology or sustainability is playing quite big role in today's mind of young people.
Absolutely.
And plenty of students are starting to not focusing on study programs as marketing management or business or multimedia design, but I know that you offer in plenty of programs like maritime and water biology.
Well, we do, and it's not just on the marine side. So we do offer degrees in marine biology, ocean sciences, geological oceanography, ocean geophysics. But we also offer marine biology combined with zoology, marine vertebrate zoology. So if you're interested in seabirds, fish, sea mammals, etc. And then also zoology and herpetology, conservational sciences, environmental sciences, geography, biology, etc. So we're really well known for ecological sciences across the board, really. And also, geographically speaking, you're in one of the best places to study these things because your field trips are out of the front door.
What I know, well, in Slovakia, maybe we lack of money. We are lacking money in budgets are very tight, especially in education. I don't think so this is the case. Well, money, there are never enough of money, but I don't think so this is the case of UK universities. And all the fees, what universities receive from the money, the main reason is not to just make money, but you're giving all the money back to the teaching facilities, lecturers and students. But what I want to say, because you have money, I never heard that any university owns ships. And I know that Bangor, for research reasons and for study reasons, you own your own ship, right?
We do, yeah. So we have our own ship called the Prince Madog II, named after an ancient Welsh prince. The ship is, I think, 36 meters in length, so it is a bona fide ocean-going vessel, which is very unusual. And yeah, the university owns and operates that ship for both teaching and research purposes. So you'd normally expect that if a university had a ship, the last thing that we would do is to put students on it. But our second-year marine biology students have a compulsory module where they have to go on a cruise on that ship. So they have to do it. They have to go out into the ocean and learn to take data at sea, take measurements, etc., and learn to do research in an ocean environment.
And maybe it's a good option if you have seasickness to try how it really feels on open ocean, right?
Well, absolutely, yeah. And I think everybody gets seasick to a certain extent, but obviously we have all the health and safety protocols and advice to make sure that everybody stays safe and well.
Mike, regarding, let's go back to intake and admission process. if you could speak a bit more, because your English is much better than mine, about how important is to firm, and how important is to choose at UCAS track firm and insurance choice, and how it works, and what means firm choice.
Well, the firm choice is when you've made your 5 choices, you've received offers back from all 5 different choices, and then you make your decision that you'd like to make. For example, Bangor, your number 1 choice. The way that you accept your offer, once you've had an offer, is to go to UCAS, accept Bangor on UCAS track as your firm choice, and then you pick an insurance choice to fall back on in case you perhaps do not meet the requirements of Bangor. And then your other choices are all dropped. So you're left with 2 choices, your firm and your insurance. Currently, I think some students might be worried about their offers because some, students around Europe, some that don't know if they're even going to take their exams yet. They're going to be allowed to take exams. But we've taken steps to make sure that our current offer holders are secure in their place. So there's no reason to worry about that. If you haven't yet applied, but you would like to apply, then you can still apply. We'll issue you with a conditional offer, which will state that, we're expecting perhaps 2.5 in your maturity plus English language requirements. But in the eventuality that you are unable to take your exams, we are working on ways that we can be flexible in our approach so that students are not disadvantaged, because this situation is nobody's fault.
Actually, I think so today should have our Minister of Education some statement, and they will set the dates, and we are not, it's not decided yet if it will be exam in presence or online, but they will definitely finish the school year or academic year.
Well, that's good news, because what we don't want is we don't want students to feel like their time so far in their studies has been wasted. So, students want to get a qualification, a school leaving qualification. And if you are able to take your exams, then that is definitely something we would encourage.
Mike, same goes for English requirements. As you know, all the businesses who offer any services in real life, they had to shut down, and British Council is also closed, and all the exams are postponed. Do you have any other option how to fulfill requirements?
Yeah, we do. So this is something that's been at the forefront of our thinking at the moment, because we realise that people are unable to take IELTS tests and TOEFL tests and other kinds of tests, such as the Cambridge assessments. So we're looking at moving our own English test online. We're still running our pre-sessional courses for English online, but the number 1 option that we've decided on at the moment is the Duolingo test. The Duolingo English test, with a score of 105 in that test, that would satisfy our requirements as being equivalent to 6.0 in IELTS. So we also currently accept a number of other English tests as well, including some which are being moved online at the moment and some which already exist online. So if you can't take your IELTS test or your Cambridge Advanced English, then there's no need to worry. There are online options that we will accept. So put that fear to the back of your mind.
And I'm actually not sure if you're not accepting B2 from Maturita in English.
Well, I think we would as well from the Slovakian Maturita. Yeah.
This is very
so
good.
This is something that we always look at these on a case-by-case basis. So individually, we'll often say to people, well, you're looking like you're going to score highly in your Maturita English and B2 level, so you don't need to take IELTS anyway. So if you've taken English and achieved highly, or you're on track to achieve highly from your Maturita, then we can accept that as well.
Excellent. And maybe as we approach till the end of the interview, there is maybe one more question that I would like to directly you and to have information from UK regarding student loans.
Yeah.
I was advising all the students to fill up the documents and send to Glasgow just to get approval, because even they will be approved for student loan, they can cancel it anytime. And if they decide that they're not coming or the school will not start on time, it's still possible to cancel it, as I know.
Yeah, of course. So if you take out a student loan, if you apply successfully, but then you do not register for a course, then you won't get the loan. And so there'll be nothing to pay back, essentially. You're not signing a contract where you then have to take the loan. because if you don't have a university place, there's no one to pay the loan to. So yeah, that's not really something to be worried about. I think my advice would be the same as yours. If you do intend to come to university in September in the UK, apply for the loan, continue as normal for the time being. If anything changes, then we can make contingency arrangements, and the student loans company will tell you what the situation is.
Excellent. Mike, we forgot about accommodation.
Accommodation.
If students don't know when does semester start, it's quite, not easy decision to pay upfront for accommodation. Do they have to pay upfront, or do you have any
No,
other?
they don't have to pay upfront. Well, first of all, they'll be communicated with. So our applicants are receiving information from the accommodation office. They're receiving it via the admissions office, via our marketing team, and via people like me, individual international officers. So you'll never be in any doubt about what's happening. But if you apply for accommodation now, you'll be required to pay a £300 deposit. If you subsequently don't take your place in accommodation, we'll refund that deposit.
All right.
You don't have to pay anything else up front. And as long as you give us 7 days notice before the accommodation contract starts, we'll refund your deposit if you don't come. So there's nothing really to lose. Excellent.
Mike, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It was nice to hear such a nice and soft English.
Well, it's nice to hear another human's voice at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, and I hope so. This was good information for some students who might be, I don't know, nervous or stressed or what's happening.
Yeah, of
and
course.
I'm happy that you're staying positive and that your government is doing steps, schools are doing steps.
Yeah, everybody's working together really well, actually, and that goes for all the UK universities. I wouldn't single anybody out as not doing their best. Everybody's trying their hardest. We're all part of the same kind of university community, and we're all supporting each other, really. So I think that's a nice thing. Don't forget as well, if you put my email address across the bottom of the screen as well, you can edit that in, and your students are very, what's the train of thought. I'm very happy for them to contact me individually with any questions, and there are no stupid questions either. So even if they want to know, what kind of restaurants there are in Bangor, then I'll answer those questions.
Excellent. Just final question: what you're gonna do now? You just put your boots on and you're going up to Snowdonia?
Well, no. I mean, I've got a conversation with my colleagues scheduled in next, and of course the work continues. I've got a million emails to deal with, and I'm preparing for another kind of agents webinar in Nigeria tomorrow, in fact.
All right. Thank you, Mike. I don't know how to quit the recording and not quit the call. So this is also bye.
This is goodbye.
And this is a goodbye. And I hope to see you in Bratislava. Actually, you should come in April, I think so. But let's see what happens. And if not in summer, I hope so to see you in.
Absolutely. Well, take care, and my regards to the family as well.
Thank you. Same goes to you, Mike. Thank you very much.